I'm Lincoln Turner. I'm 67 years old, and I've been sitting with the same thought for a while now, turning it over in my head like a smooth stone I can't put down. I realize now how much of my life was spent holding back. I don't mean holding back from danger or from foolishness. I mean holding back from myself, from saying what I meant, from going where my body leaned, from reaching out when my hands wanted to move, from living in a way that took up space. At this age, time stops feeling like a road and starts feeling like a room. A smaller room than it used to be. You notice the walls more. You notice what's inside it with you, and what isn't. I'm not telling this because I want anyone to think better of me. I don't have much use for that anymore. I'm telling it because there's a strange calm that comes with finally admitting the truth, even if it doesn't change anything. Especially if it doesn't change anything. Most days now are quiet. Too quiet, if I'm being honest. I wake up early because my body does, not because I need to be anywhere. I sit at the small kitchen table with a cup of coffee I've reheated at least once, sometimes twice. I watch the light move across the floor. That's become one of my habits. Watching light. There are photos on the wall. Not many. A few people. A few places. When I look at them, I don't feel the sharp ache people talk about. It's softer than that. It's more like realizing a song ended a long time ago and you never noticed when the silence began. I used to think regret came from doing the wrong things. Big mistakes. Obvious failures. Now I know most of it comes from what you didn't do, what you postponed. What you told yourself you'd get to later. Later is a dangerous word. It sounds harmless. Responsible, even. But later can swallow whole decades without ever raising its voice. When I was younger, I thought of myself as careful, sensible. People told me I was steady, dependable. I took those words as compliments and built my life around them. I didn't see the other side of them. The part where careful starts to mean quiet, and quiet starts to mean invisible. In my 20s, I worked at a printing company just outside the city. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills. I told myself I was lucky to have something stable. Every morning I put on the same jacket, grabbed the same thermos, and drove the same route. There was comfort in that repetition. I liked knowing what the day would look like before it started. There was a woman I worked with back then. Her name was Diane. She laughed easily, loudly, sometimes. The kind of laugh that made other people turn their heads. I remember thinking I should tell her I liked her. I remember thinking it almost every day for months. I never did. I told myself it wasn't the right time. I didn't want to make things awkward at work. That maybe she wasn't interested anyway. All reasonable thoughts. Sensible thoughts. She left the company one Friday afternoon. Said goodbye to everyone. Hugged a few people. Waved at me from across the room. I waved back. That was it. That pattern followed me longer than I care to admit. I wasn't unhappy, exactly. That's important to say. I built a life that looked fine from the outside. I married in my early 30s. We bought a modest house. We hosted dinners. We paid our bills on time. We did what was expected. But even then, I was holding back. I didn't say things when they mattered. Not the hard things, and not the tender ones either. I thought love was something you proved by being reliable, by not causing trouble, by keeping things smooth. I didn't know that silence can feel like absence to the person sitting right next to you. There were moments when my wife would look at me and wait. I could see it now, looking back. She was waiting for me to step forward somehow, to meet her where she was. I stayed where I was instead, safe, contained. I thought I was being respectful. I thought I was being strong. I didn't realize I was being distant. We didn't fight much. People thought that meant we were doing well. What it really meant was that we didn't reach for each other when it counted. We let things pass. We let things fade. When the marriage ended, it wasn't with shouting or slammed doors. It ended with a conversation at the kitchen table, voices low, eyes tired. We agreed it wasn't working anymore. That we'd both known for a while. That's the part that still catches in my throat. We both knew, and neither of us moved. After that, time started to speed up. Or maybe I just noticed it more. Work became the center of things. Not because I loved it, but because it gave me something to do. Somewhere to be. A reason to keep the edges of my life filled in. I was good at my job. Promotions came. More responsibility. Longer hours. I told myself I was building something. I told myself I was being useful. There were birthdays I missed. Dinners I arrived late to. Calls I meant to return and didn't. Always with an explanation ready. Always with the belief that there would be another chance. Nothing dramatic happened because of those choices. No single moment where everything collapsed. It was quieter than that. People just stopped expecting me. Invitations slowed. Conversations shortened. I didn't notice right away. I was busy. Busy is another word that can hide a lot. My parents aged faster than I expected. Or maybe I just wasn't paying attention. My mother's voice grew thinner on the phone. My father repeated stories he'd already told me. I listened, but I was half somewhere else. When my father got sick, I visited when I could. I sat by his bed and talked about neutral things. The weather. The news. Sports. I never told him how much I admired the way he'd kept going through his own quiet disappointments. I never asked him if he'd been afraid. He died on a Tuesday morning. I was at work when the call came. I remember staring at the wall for a long time after I hung up, thinking about all the things that were still unsaid. That was the first time I felt it clearly. That sense of something closing. Not slamming shut. Just easing closed, gently, without asking permission. After that, holding back started to feel heavier. Like carrying a bag you didn't realize was filling with stones. I dated here and there. Nothing serious. I told myself I liked my independence. That I was better on my own. Maybe that was true to some extent. But I also knew I was tired. Tired of starting things I didn't fully step into. There was a woman named Carol I met in my 40s. We went on long walks. We talked about books. She once told me she felt like she never quite knew what I was thinking. I laughed it off. Made a joke. I wish I'd asked her what she meant. She stopped calling not long after that. No argument. No explanation. Just a slow withdrawal. I understood it even then. I just didn't know how to stop doing what I'd always done. Years passed. My hair thinned. My joints stiffened. Friends retired. Some moved away. Some died. Life narrowed in small, almost polite ways. When I retired, people congratulated me. Asked what I'd do with all my free time. I smiled and said I'd figure it out. The truth was, I didn't know who I was without obligations. Without a schedule telling me where to stand. That's when the quiet really settled in. You hear yourself more in quiet. Your thoughts don't have anywhere to hide. Old moments surface. Conversations replay. You start to see patterns you were too busy to notice before. That's what it hit me, sitting alone in that small kitchen, watching the light move across the floor. How often I'd chosen restraint over honesty. Safety over presence. How many times I'd felt something rise up in me and gently pushed it back down. Not because I was scared exactly, more because I didn't want to disrupt anything. I didn't want to be too much. I thought being too much was a flaw. I didn't realize being too little could be one too. The turning point wasn't loud. It wasn't cinematic. It was a letter. An old friend from work wrote to tell me he'd been diagnosed with something serious. He wrote about his regrets, about the things he wished he'd said. He ended the letter by saying he hoped I was doing well. I sat there with that letter in my hands and felt something crack open. Not dramatically, just enough to let some truth through. I realized I couldn't name a single moment where I'd fully stepped into my life without hesitation. There were good moments, yes. But even in them, there was a part of me standing just outside, observing, holding back. Some things can't be fixed once you see them. You can understand them. You can make peace with them, maybe. But you can't go back and live them differently. I can't go back and tell Diane how her laugh made my days lighter. I can't sit across from my wife at that table and say what I was afraid to say. I can't ask my father the questions that mattered. That time is gone. Completely. And knowing that settles into your bones in a way nothing else does. I don't say this with bitterness. There's sadness, yes. But there's also a strange clarity. A sense of finally seeing the shape of my own life without flinching. If you're listening to this, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I wouldn't presume to know your life. I can only tell you what I wish I'd understood sooner. That holding back doesn't keep you safe. It just keeps you distant. That the cost doesn't show up all at once. It arrives quietly, over years, until one day you look around and realize how much space you never stepped into. Say the thing when it matters. Even if your voice shakes. Even if you don't have the perfect words. Silence feels tidy in the moment, but it leaves a mess later. If this meant something to you, you don't need to do anything grand with it. Just sit with it for a while. Let it settle. As for me, I don't have the illusion that I can make up for everything now. I'm not starting over. I'm just here. More present than I used to be. More honest, at least with myself. Some evenings, I sit on the porch and watch the sun go down. I don't rush it. I don't look away. I let myself feel whatever comes up. There isn't much time left. I know that. But for the first time, I'm not holding back from that truth either.